And we're into the sidecars, race 15 of the weekend, an 8-lapper brought to you by Obsolete Iron Motors in Pleasant Point. Obsolete Motors, your car and motorcycle servicing, fabrication, warranty, fitness and classic vehicle displays, right at 87 Main Road, Pleasant Point. So look out for Obsolete Iron Motors on Facebook. As we see the sidecars, lights on and away. There we go, good start from Dennis Charlotte on the outside, so he will lead them into the S's. And Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen, they had to do it tough yesterday, followed Dennis for a few laps and were quite impressed with his speed already in his second meeting for a sidecar. So he leads them into Castro and out onto the back straight. Jared and Kelly Winter got a good start from third on the grid. They are third in the race at the moment with Dave MacArthur, Tony New in fourth, with Gordy McEwen and Louis Scrivener doing the passengering there on the LCR in fifth place. So they were on the podium yesterday. So that was a great little fight we kept our eyes on. Third, fourth, fifth yesterday, with that being a full role reversal of those positions when they finish the race. So this is an 8-lapper. It is Dennis Charlotte leading into the McKissick curve. So one of the greatest corners you could imagine on a sidecar. The full sweeping left-hander, it just about comes back around on itself. And Dennis Charlotte and Will Clymer doing the passengering there. Heads up into the hairpin. Andy Scrivener in behind them, so they were quite happy to follow Dennis for a few laps, but then decided to pull the trigger. Andy Scrivener was 3.9 seconds faster in qualifying, so a real class act to have Andy down here and around two at levels. Into the bus stop they go. Dennis Charlotte, the 83 on his sidecar, heads into the checkered flag finish line for the first of 8 laps. Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen there in second place, right behind them. Jared and Kelly Winter. Kelly doing the passengering there for Jared. In third place with Dave MacArthur right there on the back of them as they head into Castro. Gordy McEwen and Louis Scrivener there in fifth place. As we watch Andy and Tina getting in behind the slipstream of Dennis and see if they've got an answer for them into the left-hander. They're not much in it. He's going to pull out and get an under-braking into the left-hander, the John Jones Steel 90-degree left-hander, and it is Andy Scrivener getting it done. A great textbook sidecar move there. Just took the line away on the exit, and they head into the McKissick curve with already about an 8 sidecar length advantage. They swing around the left-hander, and it is Andy Scrivener with Tina McEwen there in front with Dennis Charlotte and Will Clymo in second. Back to Jared and Kelly Winter, who are having a good little battle for third and fourth position at the moment. So we see Jared and Kelly going into the hairpin there with Dave and Tony, fourth place, and Gordy and Louis in fifth. So a great little 5-way fight for the sidecars. Only 5 of them out on the track, and it is Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen. They lead into the S's with Dennis Charlotte, Will Clymo there in second place. Here we go back to Jared and Kelly, head into the S's. So interesting to see. We've got Dennis Charlotte up the inside in Castrol, so I'm not sure what happened to Andy there into Castrol, but Dennis stuck up the inside and has taken the lead back. So Andy had a little mistake there into Castrol. Doesn't look like there's any problems with the bike, so they carry on down into the left-hander. This time Andy not quite close enough to have a dive for the lead. So Dennis Charlotte back in front, just as we'd seen Andy pulling a little bit of an advantage. Just made a bit of a mistake into the Castrol sweeper, and it is Dennis Charlotte now who's in charge of this one as they head around the McKissick curve. Andy right there behind him. Great little sidecar shot on the Ctas live screen as we see Dennis Charlotte into the right-hander with Andy right in behind him. So not really enough room for him to pass on the inside of the hairpin, but he's going to definitely push right up on him and head out onto the front end of the circuit. Dennis Charlotte with his first campaign in a sidecar, one of the only New Zealand motorcycling titles he has not won. So he has just said, right, I'm going to borrow a sidecar and I'm going racing, and already a race victory at round 1 at Ruapuna and a second place yesterday. So some great stuff from Dennis Charlotte with Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen there. This time a lot better into Castrol for the big green machine, the 1999 LCR styled machine with the 1000cc engine in it. They peel down the back straight and into the John Jones Steel left-hander. Dennis Charlotte, real legend. The Mega Motorcycle Centre man, he had a busy week rebuilding people's gearboxes and engines, and still found time to get himself ready and come racing here for round 2 of NZSBK, and already showing his mark on the sidecar field. So Andy and Tina were quite impressed with Dennis yesterday on the podium, and said well done to him, because it is not easy just to step into a three-wheeled machine, especially after you've come already on a race on the 650 twin, already in the super light class, so to come out and swap it for three wheels. Big ups to Dennis Charlotte, and Andy was more than happy to give him the praise on the podium yesterday. Jared and Kelly Winter in third, definitely under a bit of pressure now from Dave MacArthur, Tony New doing the pastoring there. So that battle for third is definitely heating up with Gordy McEwen and Louis Scrivener there back in fifth place. A little lonely ride in fifth as we see them cross the line. There's 4 laps to go. We're at half race distance. Brought to you by Obsolete Iron Motors right there in Pleasant Point in the north of the South Canterbury, should we say, just north of Timaru there. And there we go. Andy Scrivener's got the job done into first place ahead of Dennis Charlotte, who's going to come up alongside him. But Andy will have the inside as they head into the John Jones deal. Left-hander, they're side by side. Nothing in it, but it is going to be Andy Scrivener with the line, and he will lead them out of the John Jones deal, left-hander, and into the McKissick curve. Dennis Charlotte definitely trying to argue the point there, but not quite close enough to have a little move. Andy Scrivener now back in front, and what a good drive from him there as he heads up into the hairpin. Tina McEwen on the back there doing the pastoring of that machine, and they are definitely a class of the field there with a comfortable 1-2 at the moment.
All right, your car and motorcycle service experts, custom car and motorcycle fabrication, frocks and shocks is the way the boys call it, classic and retro fashions as well. You've got machine shop, stockists of products like Total Oils and Spectro Lubricants, Warren Fitness, classic vehicle display as well. So much goes on, and they are at home at Main Road at Pleasant Point. ObsoleteIron.com. Or email them obsoleteironmotors@gmail.com. So do check them out. Something a little bit different, Obsolete Iron Motors, Pleasant Point. So that's a big little business in a tiny little place. But great to see their support, and we thank them for getting behind the world of sidecars. Obsolete Iron and Brad, sidecars showing us their class, because Dennis Charlotte can just get that jettison out of the start so well, but Andy Scrivener is able to finally reel him in.
Yeah, I'd say Dennis Charlotte, they're definitely not going to have any problems with the engine of that sidecar, so he's definitely one of the better engine builders around the South Island, and what an awesome opportunity he's got to have a sidecar to come racing. There we go, see the battle for third with Jared and Kelly Winter coming under a lot of pressure now from Dave MacArthur and Tony New there, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. As you see, Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen, they've got a decent enough gap. They head in and out of the hairpin. They've got about a 20 or 30 metre gap as they head around the front end of the circuit. Dennis Charlotte, he only had the 8 on board, but he's entered as the 83. So during the week, he's managed to put the 3 on the side of the car, and he is now the 83 of Dennis Charlotte on the white machine there, Warren Dimmock machine. And he's decided to go sidecar racing, and with a win already under his belt on his first race at Ruapunda last weekend, all onwards and upwards for Dennis Charlotte, the Mega Motorcycle Centre man. So we see them coming out of Castro onto the back straight. Andy Scrivener just pulling away a bit more of an advantage, so Andy, a real class act to have him down here. See that battle for third really coming alive with Jared and Kelly Winter under pressure into Castro from Dave and Tony coming out of Castro and onto the back straight. There's not much in between that gap there, so last time Dave pulled up right alongside on the back straight into the John Jones deal left-hander, so we'll keep an eye on that one. There's only going to be a lap and a half to go. White flag ready and waiting for when the green machine, Andy Scrivener, comes out of the hairpin. Already we see him with a massive advantage now back to Dennis Charlotte. And then go back to this awesome battle for third. Jared and Kelly Winter on the 37, the blue and white machine, followed closely by the 67 machine. It's Dave MacArthur, Tony New doing the pastoring. Awesome left-hander there, sweeping around. You can see the wheel trying to lift off the ground, and Tony having to hang out the side. The white flag is out, so up the inside on the hairpin, Dave is going to just nuzzle his way into the third place, but Jared and Kelly hold the line into the right-hander, so they're side by side. There's nothing in it. I think there might have been a little bit of contact. Maybe there's nothing in it. They head into the bus stop. It is Jared and Kelly in third place with Dave MacArthur, Tony New, who've just gone off on a bit of pace and have given about a 10 bike length advantage back to Jared and Kelly. on this last lap of the sidecars.
Hey, great news, folks, is that we've got a shorter break now because we want to get ahead of the program. We know we're fighting nature. Most forecasts are telling us there is rain coming, so we were keen to get it on. So instead of resuming racing at 1 o'clock, that will be 12:30. So this is our last race of round number 1 today. We're at 7 minutes to 12 now, so we'll be resuming racing again at 12:30. So look out for that faster one. And, of course, then this afternoon, Timaru Yamaha Superbikes, 20 laps. MTF Finance 300, 12. Of course, Timaru Metal Recyclers, Supersport 600, 20 laps again. So we've got some big racing to get through this afternoon and all the right things to do. And, of course, at the end of the day, the Alan Ramage Memorial, race 1, 2 and 3, those back-to-back races, 3 laps, 3 laps, 3 laps. That's race 23, A, B and C. So it'll be a climatic and a different kind of a way to finish our day with our smaller bikes and getting in the accumulation, because what the riders do is they reverse grid. So if you've got pole in one race, you're at the back of the other and in the middle on the other. So gives an opportunity to get a balanced ride, and the accumulated points give us the winner at the end. And Brad, back to the sidecars, you've got to finish.
Yeah, checkered flag there. Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen, dominant performance there. They end up with a massive 3.6 second win over Dennis Charlotte and Will Climo coming through in second place. And then we see Jared and Kelly Winter through the bus stop now and on to the front straight. So finish line there, so good podium there. Jared and Kelly. And then Dave MacArthur, Tony New, they come home in fourth. And then we look to see Gordy McEwen and Louis Scrivener, and they're coming through the bus stop now as well. So all 5 finished and not too distant. They've been stretched apart by bigger margins than that in the past. So good stuff from our sidecars and some great racing there. So Neil will run down there, see if he can catch some podium action. But yeah, big thanks to Obsolete Iron Motors bringing you the sidecar action, and Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen doing the passengering, and Dennis Charlotte with Will Climo doing the swinging for him. Jared and Kelly Winter, Kelly doing the swinging on the back there. That is your podium for the race 2 of sidecars for this weekend. Coming up next, we have a little short break, and then the big one, the 20 lapper for Superbikes, the third and final 20 lapper for the weekend.
Well, just a reminder of our remaining dates of NZSBK 2019. Round 3 is Moto Fest at Hampton Downs Motorsport Park. You'll love the place, you'll love the venue. 2nd and 3rd of March 2019. Go to round number 4, 30th, 31st of March. Circuit Chris Amon Manfield is back after a 5-year absence on the New Zealand NZSBK calendar. And then we go to Taupo for the final, 6th and 7th of April at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park up there in Taupo. So 3 fantastic venues, great series, and of course the penultimate as well, as we Just look at the woman love out there. Fantastic to see. And there we go with a great camera shot as well. Straight into it. Hey, isn't this so nice? Because just when we think we were getting some of these same guys up here, deservedly on this occasion, Jared and Kelly, you've made it. And first of all, ladies first, what's it like being a swinger?
Oh, I'm like nothing else.
Like nothing else. Is it that good?
It is.
All right. So what was the secret that time to getting here?
No idea.
That's far too honest. You're going. Do you think you're going better all the time? Each time you make it out on the track?
It's up and down here.
Up and down.
Yeah.
Tell us about the bike.
Oh, yeah, it goes bloody good for an old girl, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, you weren't referring to the swinger then, were you? You were clearly talking about the bike.
She certainly gets a bit more foul language when we get behind the scenes, but yeah, no, she's very well. Couldn't do without her, eh?
Well done, lovely words here. Nice to see that acknowledgement. So good to see and some support here from the crowd as well. Well, to Dennis and Will out there. Dennis, you're looking for that ultimate of getting a sidecar title. How you feel things are going?
Well, yeah, things are going amazing. Yeah, it's really good to follow these fast guys and see where you're supposed to go. So, yeah, it's just every time we get on the chair, we're going faster and faster. So, you know, I think we picked up a couple of seconds in that race. So, if we can do another one, we could probably hang it with these guys, hopefully. But yeah, thanks to Will and Warwick out there for helping us with the chair and giving me the opportunity. Riding a two-wheeler is one thing, but riding a side chair is just something else. It's really incredible. I really appreciate the opportunity.
It's almost like we talk about it often on the roads that every car driver needs to be a motorcyclist to realise how you should respect them. So you're saying the right words, that every road rider should ever go on sidecars as well, Dennis? Should that be a rule?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon they should give it a go anyway. Plenty of people out there knock the sidecars, but man, it's a real awesome feeling. It's the adrenaline, being that close to the ground, and having someone that you have to 100% rely on for to get you around the corner, and having faith in your swinger is just an amazing sort of experience.
Well done. Speaking about an amazing experience, interviewing Andy Scrivener, who's been up. When was the first time, Andy? Many moons ago. You keep on doing this. What's the secret to surviving this long?
I think I was about 14. And oh, you mean cycle racing? Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been doing it. This is the 31st year I've off and on for. I've been racing sidecars, and these long bikes are a bit of a handful to get used to. And for someone like Dennis's, calibre in every other class, to come out and actually, show the way for a first couple of laps and stuff like that, and improve on his times all the way through, and even the newbies coming through, it's just awesome because we need a lot more new, younger blood into this in the thing. I mean, he's not young, but I mean, at least some new fast guys into the sport as well. And Teeny, I mean, far out, man. I don't know how she does it, really, seriously. I honestly don't know how she does it, but yeah, when we gapped Dennis for a while and let him follow our lines, and that Teeny sort of said, well, hang on, he's getting closer, man. We ain't got ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, so what's